I had one of these a number of years ago now when I used to share the maintenance of the shared driveway. But we got some new neighbours move in and he made it clear that he wanted to take over the maintenance himself of the driveway because what I did wasn't good enough. So I gave my patio cleaner away. Well, I gave it away on the provision that I could borrow it whenever I wanted. Now the only problem is, about a month ago when I said to that person, "Can I borrow the patio cleaner?" he turned around and said, "I sold that a couple of years ago." So I haven't got one anymore, and the part of the driveway which is solely mine needs a little bit of attention. And when I saw one of these for sale, brand spanking new, for less than half of what it would be normally, I decided it would be a good idea to get a new one again. Although I don't quite remember the build being this bad. I'm pretty sure the first one that I had was a lot better than this one. But we'll see, we'll soon find out. Over the years I've had different types of patio cleaner. The manual one, which is a wire brush on the end of a stick that you just rub up and down in the cracks. And I've had different types of electric ones like this to try and keep the driveway, the block paving and all that kind of stuff as nice and presented as possible. But I find that this Ryobi one's a pretty good one. So as I said, when I see this one for sale for less than half of its RRP, I thought to myself, it's a no-brainer. Yes, I definitely don't remember that little wheel being that wobbly and making that kind of noise on the other one I had. I wonder if the build quality's gone down somewhat. Either way, it'll make light work of the little piece of block paving that I have to do. The next door neighbour does the longer part. He's made it extremely clear he wants to take over that part and maintain that part because he can do it to a better standard than I can. So I'll just keep on doing my little part here. I didn't realise that bloody wall was in the way. Never mind, it is what it is. That Ryobi patio cleaner, I think they've made the wire brushes a bit tougher than they used to be, because on that one patch that you saw me do, I used to get through 2 brushes. I've still got pretty much all of that first one left. Look at that, there's loads of that left. So I think they've definitely made their wire brushes a bit tougher than what they were before. This little wheel, I don't remember it being that floppy before I made that, but it does its job. I mean, it's perfectly nice to use still. I'll be waiting for either a knock on the door, or the next time I go out on that driveway he'll come out and he'll tell me that what I've done isn't good enough, how bad it is or whatever, because that's just the way things work around here. But I've managed to make the driveway look a bit better than it was. Something which has been on my list now for many, many months. And while I wait around for that to happen, charging up this battery, I've got this on the bench. This is my FG 4-wheel drive FG Marder. Quite a rare thing these days. It's actually got front disc brakes. It hasn't got any rear brakes, but because it's belt driven, when you brake the front, it also brakes the back because it's 4-wheel drive, so puts a bit of pressure on the belt, but that's just the way they were set up. Also got the electric Hyper TT on the bench. That's all ready to rock and roll now. Slowly ticking away at all the little jobs. I love looking at all the different houses as I walk around. Where I live, it's mad. You go from one road, or one little cluster of roads, where there's all these different styles of modern houses. None of them are within keeping with the area. They're all different from each other, different roof tiles, different driveways. It's like a patchwork quilt of houses. And then you go to, just admiring that bloody weather, and then you go a couple of roads down, or to another little section, and they're all older style houses. They've all got older style driveways, front gardens with actual flowers in them, you know, proper roof tiles, all kept quite well. And then you can go a few more houses down and they're all dumps. Overgrown drives, overgrown front gardens, rubbish, settees, sofas all around, cars dumped in the driveways. Such a different mixed match of places, but that's what I like. So cool. But I like the older ones, the older well-kept houses with the nice drive. There's one that's my particular favourite. Red tarmac drive, well-kept, aluminium frame windows, aluminium frame door. Nice looking house as well. So I think it's a bungalow actually. Might be a house at the back. I think it's a bungalow. Very nice. I love all that kind of stuff. It's brilliant. Something else that you notice as well. Round here, where I live, if you meet someone in the town or you walk past someone on the street or on this path, for example, someone coming the other way, they'll be looking at the floor, or if you make eye contact with them, they'll just sort of look past you, sort of thing. Won't say hello. Whereas if you're in Norfolk, Suffolk, Devon, or places, anywhere where we normally go on holiday, we tend to find that if you walk past someone, they'll say hello. If you try and do that here, you walk past someone here and say hello, you get a funny look. No one will do anything. It's weird how different places are so different. And I reckon today could be the day that the set of wheels turn up for this Savage. Interesting story about this. It used to be a Savage X, but the chassis were both snapped in half when the previous owner got them. They sent me this note when they sent me this car. And so they put ordinary Savage 25 chassis on it. So it's a Savage X with 25 chassis, so it could trick you. It's got an engine in it which is unknown, so I have not started it up. I've not done anything to it. I've sourced a set of wheels for it, and when they turn up, that'll be when I go and do all the inspections and start the engine up for the very first time and check all the servos. And it's got no radio gear in it, but one of the other things which is on my list of things to do, hopefully today if they turn up. There is some sad news though, and that sad news being my trusty old faithful 736R died yesterday. I think it's the outputs, it could be some caps, I don't really know. I'm not going to delve into it myself because yes, I can mend burners and I've done a few CB repairs. That thing is my trusty faithful. I can't speak. I think I've got dust in my mouth. Anyway, this is my old faithful, right? This is from the early 1980s. It's got a warranty sticker, I think it's on the other side. And when I bought it roughly 10 years ago, it had already been serviced by an actual company, and I'm sure it's on this side. It's got a warranty sticker along the sill. I might try to call them up and see if they want to have a look at it and repair it again. It turns on, it just doesn't transmit. I was talking to a special station yesterday. What was it? GB2 Golf Bravo 2 Charlie Mike. Yes, it was. I'm just trying to remember if that was the right one. It was Golf Bravo 2 Charlie Mike. I was talking to them yesterday. They're somewhere in southeast London, I think, at some steam rally thing. Talking to him, and all of a sudden, transmit just fizzled out. I let it cool down. It wasn't even hot, to be honest, but I turned it off for about half an hour, turned it back on, and we had transmit again. So I was calling CQ to see if it was transmitting okay, and all of a sudden, no more power, no more transmit. So when something gets warmer now, it fizzles down. And no, it's not the heat beating down on it. It wasn't even hot. I know you could throw all kinds of different scenarios. The heat from the windows getting it too hot. I was transmitting too long, this, that and the other. None of those scenarios were true. I know that because I was here. Something has gone dicky inside. I don't know if it's been recapped. I don't know if it's got new outputs. I know it has been serviced because of the sticker on the side, but that's all I know. I've had it 10 years. I've used it for 10 years. Had a good old time with it, and I'm not going to crack it open myself. I'm going to find someone who actually knows exactly what they're doing with it. Trouble is, all the rig doctors around here have, well, they've, to put it as polite as I can, they've all got old, and they just don't. They either can't, because of their fingers and eyes, they can't see or feel or whatever what they're doing with the little parts anymore, or they just don't want to do it anymore. So all the rig doctors have gone. And any new person who's into electronics, and even if they're into CB, they don't know their stuff enough when it comes to this stuff. And I've heard loads of stories about people sending old ham radios to these new millennials, as we'll call them. Some of them are younger than me, some of them are slightly older than me, so I can't really call them a millennial then. But anyway, new, old, whatever, these people. And they've completely messed them up. And I don't want this to happen. So I need to find someone who knows exactly what they're doing with the old faithful, just to repair it. Probably, hopefully, if it's not too expensive, I'll just get the whole thing recapped, outputs if it needs them, so it's 100% fresh on the inside. So if you do know someone that does that, by the way, or maybe you are someone that's pretty handy with these older radios, and you think you're capable of recapping it all, so it's all fresh, and testing those outputs for me and making it as it was when it was new, then please contact me and we'll have a chat. I don't really want to post it. I'd rather it be as local as possible so I can deliver it and pick it up. You know, take it there and pick it up rather than having to post it, because, well, the old thing's quite delicate these days. Such a beautiful day out there. I need to fix that window. Oh yes. I just fired this beast up. I'm waiting for the wheels to arrive, but I got a little bit too impatient, and I thought, right, let's just fire it up. I've done a video on firing it all up, so if you want to see that, I might, if I remember, I'll put a link to that. But it ran really, really well. Bit of an issue with the carburetor. I think there was a bit of a blockage. I've blown most of that out, I think, now, and it runs really well. I don't want to make too much noise. It's a Monday morning here. Probably got the old people outside sitting in their gardens trying to relax. Oh, being a pensioner must be fun, eh? So I don't want to make too much noise on a Monday morning. So I haven't ran it too much. But I've done a little bit of work to the suspension. There's like a bar thing, which is like a handle and a roll bar thing to save the shell if you roll it over. There are loads of those are for sale really cheap. Well, not cheap. Yeah, about £3 or £4. Second hand on the internet, various forums. So I'm not going to buy that yet. Coming across a decent set of wheels is more difficult. So when I found the set that I did find, I snapped them up quick. Just went without a McDonald's for a day, and that was that. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Can't wait to go and give it a test drive. I really can't. Alright, I've had enough for today. I'm going to go and do some other stuff. The bits and bobs that I needed for this never turned up, so this will be another day. Then again, as I said, I'll put a link to that video if you want to see it. Put in the comments, I want to know where you're from, and if it's like how I described earlier on. What's it like? Have you got like different stages and houses? Some roads and streets are some way, and then older ones, newer ones, mix and match, and blooming ones that are a tip, ones that are well kept, etc, etc. And what are the people like? Catch you later on. All the best. Take care.